Hey there, boys and girls. Welcome back to Back Pocket Game Reviews, where today we're gonna talk about GameStop again because, well, some relevant stuff went down with GameStop. So, a lot of you may not follow GameStop's financial earnings and stuff like that. However, the other day, GameStop released what their quarterly earnings were for quarter 3. You may kind of be wondering, well, when was quarter 3? What does this really have to do with anything? So quarter 3 actually ends on November 3rd for GameStop. So this would be the quarter prior to going into the holiday quarter, and then it'll reset again here in January. They'll start their new quarter at the end of January, and we'll find out quarter 4's earnings. But this does get a little deep because boy, did GameStop miss their estimated earnings by a landslide, and that's even after selling off Spring Mobile for $700 million. They still missed their marker for earnings by $488 million. Yeah, that's a lot of money. So they had a net income loss of $488. Net income loss means that's how much we estimated we're gonna hit this. We hit this. That's the net income loss, the amount that you missed that by. So that's a really big number to be missing that by, and there's a lot of different reasons to play into it, whether it be the fees and stuff they had to pay out through AT&T for Spring Mobile and the issues that they had with the way those payouts were working. Apparently there was a certain structure that AT&T paid out, like incremental benefits for hitting these numbers and doing this, and then they changed that system and GameStop missed all of the markers, and that's part of the reason why selling. That's why they sold Spring Mobile. Keep in mind, $700 million is what they made off of selling Spring Mobile. We don't actually know what they bought it for. We just know that they increased the number of stores. They bought it for an undisclosed amount of money, so that could be a loss still, even on Spring Mobile with selling it. But with that being said, they did state they were going to take that money from the Spring Mobile sale to pay down debt and to restructure the business for the future. However, well, there was a lot of different reasons why they're saying they missed by $488 million. And a lot of that was they did have growth in a lot of the categories. So when you look at system sales, when you look at international sales, but your issue is they had growth in system sales. So while you are seeing a huge influx of people, you don't really make a lot of money off of systems. Systems aren't going to be bringing in like the buku bucks for GameStop. So that becomes a bit of a problem. Their stock did drop quite a bit after this. I mean, that is a huge marker to miss on, and a lot of the stuff that they are blaming it on is underperforming sales. They do talk about how there were some huge games this year, specifically mentioning Red Dead Redemption 2, which, yeah, we're all aware. Red Dead Redemption 2 sold like hotcakes. We get it. It's a Rockstar game. It'll always sell like hotcakes. Apparently, they also stated Call of Duty sold like hotcakes this year, which, again, it's Call of Duty. It always sells like hotcakes, whether it deserves to or not. So they also threw some games under the bus, saying there were some drastic underperforming titles this year. Fallout 76. I'm just assuming that's one of the ones they're referring to. But they also did mention Spider-Man was a huge performer for them. And it is just very interesting to see, like, they had a lot of growth, but they had all this growth in the wrong categories for their business. They even stated that used game sales are down, which, well, is that really a shocker? Hey, let me pay you $3 for this game. We're then going to turn around and sell it for $25 to someone. That is a huge markup, and I'd rather pay, because probably if you're selling it for $25 GameStop, that means I can get it new for $30. I'd rather pay more to the developer than give you some money for ripping me off previously, or possibly even a friend of mine. Like, oh, hey, my buddy just traded that game. Let me go ahead and pay you for it because we all know you screwed him on it. And that is kind of a big issue you run into with used games, or even when you look at games like Fallout 76, where it has a download code inside the box. There is no actual disc. So there's a lot of different things that are putting nails into GameStop's coffin right now, and GameStop's critically trying to figure out how they can restructure and how they can move forward and what's going to be the best plan of action. And darn wrong, like I mean, I get it. There's a lot of problems here, and there are quite a few to fix. I think the biggest one is just that they have so many stores, and I get it. A lot of these stores are profitable, but we're talking profitable by thin margins. How many of those are in a location where someone would have just went to another store that's relatively close by? I mean, I could drive in 3 different directions from my house, and I have a store within 5 miles in all 3 of those directions. That's insane. The closest one I don't even go to simply because of the location it's in. So there are a lot of different factors here, and I don't really have a right or a wrong way for them to restructure. I mean, I know how I would go about trying to do it, and it does become a very uphill battle, especially when your name has been kind of associated with so much negativity over the years, to wean back a lot of that customer trust. That's why I always thought it was really funny when they started their own game publisher, it was named Game Trust. Because no one trusts you most of the time, GameStop. I don't. I really don't. There's a lot of times where I'm just like, huh, okay. Thank you, GameStop. However, I am wearing this sweater. I'm very Christmased out at the moment, just for you guys. I do love me some Christmas, but I really felt this was just very fitting. I did get this. This was my Black Friday pickup at GameStop. Yeah, it's alright. You guys will see the whole Black Friday haul here soon. But this was part of it. Now, I am kind of curious to what do you guys think? Why do you think 488 million was the marker that they missed it by? I mean, that's really screwing the pooch right there. Like, that is a huge miss. But I'm not shocked stocks dropped after it, because that also screws investor earning, a lot of other stuff. So, what do you think is going to go on for GameStop? Where do you think this is going to take them? And obviously, this is going to put a huge, huge focus on the holiday sales and everything for GameStop, because, well, they're currently trying to get bought out. They essentially want someone to come along and buy them and restructure the company, which means most likely going private for them. But if you want to get bought out, you're not really going to get bought out if you're like, hey, we're missing our profit estimates. Like, that is a huge miss as someone who would be looking at buying the company. Not saying they weren't still profitable, but, you know, when you're trending on the downward and then finally one's like a huge drop, that's bad. That's really bad. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how this plays out for GameStop. That's not saying someone isn't still going to come along and buy them. I mean, obviously their name's probably worth something to someone. At one point in time, they were a huge brand that people did trust. There was a point in time where people were like, oh, I'm going to go to GameStop, get my games. Now you really only hear that from like a 10-year-old. So it's kind of a change of mindset. Guys, I do look forward to hearing what you guys think about all this and why you think this is happening. Obviously, there's a lot of reasons. It's not like a single issue. It's a multifaceted issue. But leave your comments down below if you want to follow me anywhere else. The links are, as always, in the description box down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Stick around. Put a ring on it. Ding the little bell. Alright? I'll see y'all soon. Plenty more content coming for you. And yeah. Merry Christmas.